Takijama, Episode 4, Bear Ninja.
And for those of you who've just tuned in, news to hand, Japanese all-girl punk rock band The Bear Ninja, who vanished without a trace in far northern Australia 2 years ago, have been found. This broadcast is being streamed to you directly from a secret location in Japan, where the Bear Ninja Band is preparing for a much-anticipated comeback concert. Now, we have an exclusive backstage area pass to this historic event. The band has recruited Mr Takijama, the creator of Cane Toad Safari, as their engineer and roadie for this show. We'll be crossing live to the event and to our man on the pulse, Ronnie, for revelations surrounding their mysterious disappearance. So it's load in, set up and sound check for this special Bear Ninja live concert event.
Crossing now live to the venue. Well, I can see Mr. Takijama is at the mixing console.
Check, 1, 2.
Fine-tuning the EQ of the vocals to suit the natural acoustics of the live house.
Hello, Steve.
Ronnie!
Yes, mate, Mr. Takijama told me that he's just adjusting the frequency, 160 hertz. He's going to cut that by 10 decibels at Q3. Now that should clear up some of those mushy frequencies.
2, 2, 1, 2.
Kimmy, guitar please! Well, little Kimmy wasting no time firing up her trademark grungy power chords. And I believe that's a stack of old quad boxes and vintage valve guitar amps she's using in the back line tonight.
Yeah, little Kimmy, she's never been one to hold back on those blistering hot riffs and shredding licks.
Whoa! Running that turbo boost hot tonight, Kimmy.
Our fans expect it.
Little Kimmy, the daughter of a US helicopter pilot stationed in Korea. I believe she got her education on military bases, the pilots schooling her in the key elements of the hard rock that they love to fly by.
Steve?
Yes, Ronnie?
Mr. Takijama just adjusted the EQ on the guitar. He boosted the 5 kilohertz range. That's to boost the twang. And that guitar she's using tonight, that old Les Paul, she copped some good-natured ribbing from the rest of the band for it.
And why is that, Ronnie?
Well, mate, it's a relic. Analog, wood, metal. It's like a battle axe, strung together with fencing wire. She still plays it with the plastic yogurt spoon that she's kept since age 3. Mate, electric guitars, you gotta love them. Based on 19th century electronics, and the volume knobs on Kimmy's Les Paul are stuck on with chewing gum.
Well, Ronnie, I have to say I'm impressed. A guitar in the authentic spirit of a rock dog Les Paul.
Excellent! Aiko-san. Kick. Snare. Hats.
He'll be dipping around the 250 hertz range to give some space for that kick drum, and rolling the toms off in the frequency below 100 hertz. He's going for the sweet spots.
Aiko-san, you will be running some loops tonight, yes?
Hi.
Oh, yes. And on drums, Taiko Aiko. Well, the rumor mill has it that Taiko Aiko has connections with the royal family. Apparently, upon completion of her studies with the great Taiko sensei John Zepp Anvilhammer, Aiko-san volunteered for the United Nations Environment Corps. And in her travels, she collected an impressive cache of samples, sound bites, infectious rhythms, and dancers from all around the world. The fruits of this study in alien beats propel her on-stage performance to a stimulating and hypnotic high for the devoted fans of the Bear Ninja Band.
Aiko-san, now hook it, please.
Oh, I love that beat. Flows like viscous lava from the drums. Yes, she's smiling. Takijama's drum mix obviously hit the sweet spots.
Are you getting that through your fallback, Chenzen?
Oh yes, coming through, Takijama-san.
Chen Zhen, vocalist and bass, classically trained, internationally acclaimed concert violinist, already with 2 solo releases to her credit. Her vocal influences spring from her Obasan's vinyl collection of rare R&B classics, trashy, thrashy punk rock, speed metal and country gold.
That's right. She joined up with the band in Hong Kong after her family returned from Jamaica. Chen Zhen's mother worked as a doctor with a multinational team in the jungles of South America. They were researching new vaccines. And it was, in fact, in Jamaica where Chen Zhen discovered the mystical power of super sub bass as an apprentice with Reggae Bobby, the legendary bass jam master.
Mr. Takijama continues with the sound check.
Marin-chan, synth please.
Hip-hop Marin-chan, keyboard player with the Bear Ninja. Oh, something's gone wrong there. All sorts of bizarre sounds shrieking out. A ghastly crackle zap ending with something that sounded like a sad fart. Oh, not what she expected at all. The band seems to be having a bit of a laugh.
Dodgy Earth technology. Takijama-san, I think the motherboard just crashed again.
Okay, no problem. I can reboot this motherboard from my mixing console, and it may take a minute or so why don't you all take a break? Don't you have costumes, hair, makeup, nails to do? Doors open at 7. You want to look your best for this gig. I don't have to tell you how important it is.
But first, I would like to present each of you with a small gift. Mr. Takijama approached the band and bowed. He opened his hand to reveal 4 tiny glowing jewels.
I know we've had our technical problems at soundcheck, but don't worry. Leave it to me. You will amaze the world tonight. Wear these jewels. And by the way, an old friend of ours will be preparing a sumptuous supper for us after the show tonight.
Master Chew Fat.
Well, I didn't quite catch all of that, but Mr. Takijama just had a private moment with the band. I don't know the meaning of the gifts he just presented them with, and also, I'm unfamiliar with Master Chew Fat. Possibly he has some connection to the band's absence over the last 2 years. But I'm sure all will be explained, and there goes Mr. Takijama, starting a little chuckle disappearing under the mixing console for some flash repairs.
How did I get myself into this?
Hey, Steve?
Yes, go ahead, Ronnie.
Yes, Mr. Takijama told me earlier that although he's regarded as mysterious and wise, really he's enjoying this role as a roadie and audio engineer for this all-girl extreme punk rock band.
So, Ronnie, can you fill our listeners in on the background of this extraordinary concert? Where have the Bear Ninja been for the last 2 years?
Well, the Bear Ninja were presumed lost in the tropical rainforests of far North Queensland. They vanished without a trace whilst shooting a video to coincide with the release of their debut album. Now, their live shows were infamous for wild, on-stage antics, earning them the well-deserved reputation of being arguably the most original, outrageous and gifted hardcore punk rock band anywhere. Until then, the band adhered to a philosophy of live performance only. They used to play secret shows for their loyal fans. There were no recordings.
No recordings, you say?
That's right, mate. Bear Ninja communicated with their fans through coded messages hidden on the internet and in the Lost Instruments section of various rock magazines. They did perform once on a televised Live Aid relief concert. The gig was fantastic, and it was also for a very good cause. And of course, everybody recorded that performance for their personal use. Well, that was fine, but unscrupulous black market bootlegging pirates made thousands of copies, which they tried to sell. Unfortunately for those pirates, when the bootleg copies played back, there was only static. Mate, those bootleggers couldn't work out where they went wrong. they hadn't counted on being sabotaged by the long arm of an elite anti-pirate unit. See, the Bear Ninja fan base and network, they've got agents everywhere. The rule was that they had no commercial releases on any format. And you see, for the fans and the band, the rush of the perfect live performance was as sacred as haiku, mate.
Haiku?
Yeah. The band planned to donate the proceedings from this special debut album to the Orphans of War.
Well, the loyalty and devotion of their fans is unswerving. I mean, after the band disappeared, they posted a vigil at that abandoned Japanese honeymooners resort, the location of the band's first video shoot and also their last contact. This inhospitable wasteland destined to become Mr Takijama's Cane Toad Safari site in far North Queensland. Cane Toad Safari enjoyed enormous success. The world for a second had forgotten about war. Cane toads were back on the menu for the natural predators of the northern rainforests, and the radical popper cane toad driving technique adopted by so many off-road vehicle drivers went out of fashion.
Yes, I was there. At the game's closing ceremony, Mr Takijama vowed to search for this lost band. Well, he was true to his word, and he's been busy. He's been employing this remarkable futuristic technology. I don't know where he gets it from, but it's similar to the setup from Cane Toad Safari, only this time, here, he's built an amazing virtual concert hall. Now, even though we can't disclose the exact location of this concert, what I can tell you is this. From the outside, this place looks like an ordinary music live house. Well, inside, it's a completely different story.
A remote prefecture in Honshu, near the 400-year-old home of the Koga Ninja. So that's the setting for our exclusive backstage coverage. The story behind Bear Ninja's disappearance and sudden return. Coming to you via satellite, direct and free, streaming around the world.
The atmosphere here is charged with anticipation. Now the lights are softly dimmed. Mist is floating across the atmospheric stage. Shadows playing and dancing on stacks of quad boxes. I can see 4 ghostly figures floating around the gear, drifting, silhouetted against the mist. Tiny red, green and blue lights twinkle, casting eerie reflections of chrome fittings and mic stands. The stage is set. 4 brilliant white light pillars flashed down onto the stage. And there they are. Little Kimmy, Maran-chan, Chen-zen and Taiko Aiko. Bear Ninja.
Friends, we have returned, and tonight we will play for you. Thank you for your support. Please watch the screen.
Now I can see static on the huge screen behind the band. It's clearing to reveal a dark, steaming tropical forest.
There, you can see us getting ready to shoot a video clip. Now watch. See? There is the ship, a shining saucer, hovering. A beam of green light flashes, and we are gone. We are gone.
And now there are cascades of brilliant rainbow colors flashing from the jewels on the girls' foreheads. The screen flickers.
Aliens were so taken with the music of Bear Ninja that they booked the band. Yes, aliens toured the Bear Ninja on the interstellar run. Skeptics thought it was a publicity stunt. We don't need publicity stunts. We are back, and we bring a great gift. Tonight, we just may deliver you from the darkness.
And now those jewels on the girls' foreheads are flashing like the sun.
We were invited to tour and rock intergalactic music fans between time, space, and matter. We have returned bearing riffs and gifts. that just might enlighten the way you think. The universal language is music. Musicians create the links by which the inhabitants of all planets can communicate. Brain waves, of course, frequencies. Ones you hear, the ones you feel. Tonight, we will rock the universe!
Now the screen is clearing and... Blimey! There are 2 aliens! Mr. Takijama smiled as the alien friends from the Pacific island on which he had been lost for 70 years appeared on the screen.
Daijobu, Takijama-san. Hello, world. Hello. Sorry, yes, it's true. We borrowed the Bear Ninja band. We love them. They have converted us. We are big fans. They are revved up, hardcore, soft-center supergroup. They play rock, they play reggae, power pop, classical, punk, country, gold, disco, blues, and jazz. They shine so much energy, attitude, and skill. The intergalactic tour circuit will never be the same. We love the punk of 10,000 years.
I think you mean the funk of 10,000 years.
You mean there's a difference?
Ronnie here.
Yes, Ronnie, go ahead.
Don't think those little aliens are having a bit of a leg pull here, mate. They're rolling around laughing at their own joke. Oh, Murray and Chun's keyboard sampler just blasted out all sorts of bizarre shrieking sounds again. Ghastly, crackles, zaps, ending with something that sounded like a sad fart.
Oh, I think it's a bit of band hijinks. Someone thought it'd be a great joke to load her keyboard up with alien fart samples. Taiko Aiko raised her drumsticks high into the air and counted the band in. And so it was that Bear Ninja kicked out the jams and opened the first ever intergalactic rock show, a broadcast, a tribute to their musical mentors.
Oh, if only they could see this.
Mr. Takijama wiped tears from his old wise eyes and quietly offered thanks to the millions of musicians who, over the millennia, had contributed to this moment. Eyes around the world turned to heaven and beheld a Milky Way of stars and galaxies pulsating to the Bear Ninja's driving hardcore beat. A thought crossed Mr. Takijama's mind as he tended to his audio engineering. This band vanishes and then drops back to Earth. I am reminded of the Australian folklore, the tale I heard at Kainto Safari, the awesome Drop Bears. Drop Bear Ninja. DB to the end. Perfect. A vast desert shimmered in the blazing light cast by a huge red fireball. Takijama stood alone and watched as, sinking slowly into the velvety purple of the western sky, the sun disappeared. A time before living memory, recounted through stories, song, and dance.
Next on Takijama, Dream Healing.